Informational. Commissioners may present emergent items. No action may be taken by the commission. Any item requiring commission action may be scheduled on a future commission agenda. The commission will review and may discuss correspondence sent or received by the commission since the last regular meeting and may provide copies for the exhibit file. Commissioners may provide hard copies of their correspondence for the written record. Correspondence sent or received by Secretary Wasley may also be discussed. Items from the commission. Commissioner Johnston.
I think the only thing I need to add, and I submitted this to Mr. Hoyen at the TAC committee, at the meeting in September, I indicated that I had received correspondence on the party hunt and the return of tags for restoration of bonus points. I made communication back to the individual who had emailed me. I can provide that to the department. I gave it to the department because I addressed it at the TAC committee meeting as well. So that was one correspondence that I provided back to the individual who was asking about that issue, and I informed him of what we had done at the TAC committee level.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. And I'm just going to add too that I attended a meeting in Tonopah for the Air Force on their expansion of the base, and I had some correspondence with one of their people, and he's going to be in attendance tomorrow. And I just thought I'd let people know that he will be here. The last I heard, he was going to be here. I haven't had any correspondence with him in the last couple days, but that's everything else that I received. I forwarded on to Suzanne, and it appeared that the entire commission had received the same things that I had. So unless anybody has anything further. Commissioner Drew.
Yeah, just a couple of quick items. I did receive correspondence from both Tina Nappy and Karen Boger regarding various land transfer bills, land transfer policy and items, a couple of which will be on the agenda later tomorrow, I believe. But one of the things that Tina had mentioned that's not on the agenda is the potential for a land transfer bill through the U.S. Congress that had a hearing this week. It's a bill proposed by Congressman Amodei. Something, especially in some of the checkerboard lands across the state, are being proposed for transfer to the state of Nevada, and I think it's something that obviously a lot of sportsmen and conservationists had an eye on, and probably something this commission needs to take up at our first meeting next year. So that'll be one of the future items that I would recommend, something we need to start taking and paying attention to with the changes politically at the national level. So in regards to today, I did want to thank the department and the governor's staff for providing this room. I know they're very proud of the restoration of this place, and it's pretty unique and kind of a humbling opportunity to be sitting in a room with so much history, and it took a little bit of work to get this done from both the governor and Dow staff. So I just wanted to thank them for all those efforts and making sure we had communications with Southern Nevada as well. And then just to follow up, and obviously the governor's not here, but luckily I was able to tell him this directly when we received the award for Commission of the Year. The reason you win awards like that is because of the people who are appointed to the commission. And I know when he was running for governor the first time, he sure got a lot of input on the commission and the membership of the commission. And I was lucky enough to lead this group, but I can tell you the reason we won that award is because of all the people who put the time and effort in and took the opportunity with that time and effort, as well as the governor who made it a point to seek out good people who cared about our wildlife resources. So just again, to reiterate, between the governor, his staff, the department, and all the people I've had the opportunity to serve with, I just appreciate all your guys' efforts and passion.
Thank you, Commissioner Drew. And one more thing I wanted to touch on. It's a little late now, but I wanted to thank previous commissioners Bliss and Morai for making the trip back today. And they've already headed out and headed back home for other ventures. So I wanted to thank them as well. And anything further from the commission? Seeing none, I'll close agenda item number 4 and move to agenda item number 5. County Advisory Boards to manage wildlife member items, informational. County Advisory Boards to manage wildlife members may present emergent items. No action may be taken by the Commission. Any item requiring commission action will be scheduled on a future commission agenda. County Advisory Boards, come on up.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members. Doug Martin from the Carson City Wildlife Advisory Board. Our board on Monday reviewed a piece of pending legislation that I'd like to bring to your attention that I'm sure some of you are very aware of, and it's called the Sportsman's Initiative. And we took a look at that and took an action to encourage you to support that particular bill. It is intended to provide education opportunities to what's called the 88%, and that's 88% who are neither hunters or anti-hunters, but they're people who appreciate wildlife, and they get to see what sportsmen's and sportsmen's groups do for the furtherment of wildlife habitat. And this particular bill does involve the department, the way it's written, in that the reserve of heritage funds would go to supporting it, and the department would be a part of that particular bill. So it is circulating right now. I got a copy from the Nevada Wildlife Coalition, and I do believe that many of you have seen a form of this bill in the past, and we encourage you to take a look at it and support it and put it on your agenda. Thank you.
Thank you, Doug. Any further county advisory boards? Come on up. Down lower, there you go. Got it.
Craig Burnside, Douglas Cab. If you've read through our minutes, we had an item on our agenda that one of our members brought forward to initialize discussions on the potential for exploring the use of trained tracking dogs in the help of recovery of wounded or dead big game animals. The member that brought it forward, son had experience where he lost an animal and hunting in a different state, but evidently there's a number of states, even in the western part of the country, that have regulations in place that allow the use of trained tracking dogs to help recover lost big game animals. So I just spoke at the beginning of the meeting with Chief Warden Turnipseed, and he's going to explore a little bit and see what it would take to do that, but just wanted to make you aware that that was an emergent item that came out of our meeting this week.
Thank you, Craig. Any further county advisory boards? Hearing none, I'll bring it back to the commission and move on to item number 6, approval of minutes. Chairman Wallace, for possible action, commission minutes may be approved from the September 23rd and 24th, 2016 meeting. Have the commissioners had a chance to review the minutes from the September meeting? Any comments? Seeing none, this is an action item. I'll take it out to public. Commissioner Drew.
I had one, and maybe it'll give Commissioner Valentine the opportunity to look at this, but on page 30 and 31, I know one of those motions that he had voted against, and I wanted to make sure we had it accurately depicted. The second one is 7-0, and then it said he dissented, but I want to make sure that was the right motion that you voted against, Commissioner, because I was kind of under the impression that maybe it had been the first one, so.
My notes indicate that it was the second motion regarding the .50 caliber. And thank you for bringing that up, because I had noted that in my minute.
So I believe in that case, we would just need to make the note that it was 7-1 rather than 7-0 on that vote. Everything else should be fine. That would be page 31 at the top.
Anything further from the commission? It's an action item. I'll take it out for public comment in Carson City. Seeing none, public comment in Las Vegas.
No comments in Las Vegas.
We'll bring it back to the commission for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the September 23rd and 24th, 2016 meeting with the change on page 31 regarding the motion for 7-1.
I second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Valentine and a second by Commissioner Hubbs to approve the minutes as presented with the change of 7 to 1. Suzanne, are you clear with that? I'll call for the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimous.